Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Thursday morning. Feels a little bit warmer this morning. Maybe we'll have a day without rain and a little bit of sunshine. That would be nice. Matthew chapter 18, verse 31. Jesus is developing this momentum in this story as it relates to the way in which he is depicting how the king is going to respond to the slave that showed no mercy to his fellow slave. And he builds it up gradually. And we get another reference to that kind of momentum in verse 31. And it says these words: "So when his fellow slaves saw what had happened, they were deeply grieved and came and reported to their Lord all that had happened." So these fellow slaves of the slaves, so there's a whole host of them, see how the slave treated his slave and how he failed to represent and reflect the nature of the king and the nature of the way he had stood with the slave that couldn't pay and the generosity that it offered. And so there was this kind of momentum, hostility building up against the slave who would not and was not willing to use the same generosity that the king had used on him. And I said yesterday, why are some people like that? And that sense of not wanting to be reflective of God. Do you ever look at your lives and look how blessed you are with the things that go on in your lives? Or do you spend your life looking at all the things that are wrong in your lives and therefore question, as it were, as to whether God really has blessed you? And there is a sense in which we think sometimes that God does good things if we do good things to God, and God does bad things if we do bad things to God. Or when we say to God, what we mean really is to each other, but God himself in effect evaluates the deed that we've done that's good or bad. And so this sense of trying to get God to like us, and so we do the good thing, and then know that when we do the bad thing, God is going to somehow send a negative thing into our lives. And seeing God in this way is a kind of an interesting scenario in and of itself. But this slave is really being prepared to be made an example of. And his fellow slaves they've grasped him up. They've said to the king, look, that one you showed mercy to has shown no mercy to his fellow slave. Look, they're saying to the king, what are you going to do about it? How is the king going to respond? Is he going to let the slave that showed no mercy off? Is he going to just agree with him and say it's up to him, he can do what he likes, he's his slave? Or is he going to bring about a judgment on the unwilling slave? Is he going to challenge his behavior? Is he going to address the way he has treated his fellow slave? What's going to happen? Well, we'll find that out tomorrow. But just to remind you that on Monday, I'll be starting my new WhatsApp group called Proverbs with Paul in the afternoon. And Proverbs is wisdom. So learning, as it were, wisdom from the scriptures in the afternoon. It'll be a couple of minute video, and it will just be an inspiration of truth that will set captives free. And I've decided to just basically include everyone in the Read and the Read group on the email that I send out. If you don't want to be involved in that group, then just don't accept the invitation, and then you won't be part of it. Have a great day, be blessed, and be kind to people when you meet them.